What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update for Saturday, July 10th. Now, I want to break down what is currently going on because right now there's a lot of discussions as to how much will the American people get? Are we going to see the next stimulus package actually pass? What is going on with this infrastructure package, and what is President Biden and the Biden administration actually doing about the things going on right now? Well, here's what we know. First, the Senate, and this is according to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer yesterday, the Senate will most likely have to work into August. Well, this essentially was not the plan. They have a scheduled state work period, and this is pretty much the entire month of August. This is usually what they do every single year, is the month of August is pretty much just a recess for Washington, and they go back to their home districts. Whether they go on vacation or they work with their constituents, that is really up to them. But here's the big news. The reason why Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is saying that the Senate will most likely have to work through August or through a portion of August is because they come back to Washington, this week. The problem is they only have 2 to 3 weeks to get stuff done before they go back on recess. So the problem there is there's not enough time, at least according to reports. Now, even though the Senate comes back on Monday, they come back to Washington on Monday, the problem is most don't expect the committees to be done with the legislative text of both of these infrastructure packages until next Monday. So in like 9 days from today. So that is a huge issue because some are saying that if these committees don't have the legislative text, then really there's no point to negotiate these bills yet because they don't know what the committees are coming up with. So we just have to wait and see. But the big issue with this is that the Senate, and this is according to Nancy Pelosi will not bring the bipartisan bill to the floor of the House until the Senate passes both bills. They have to pass the budget reconciliation bill and the bipartisan bill, which that's creating another issue is because some say no, we need to pass the bipartisan bill first so we know what is in it, and then we can go and pass a budget reconciliation bill to cover everything else that was left out. But then you got progressives that say, and these are the ones that are actually pushing Nancy Pelosi, they're saying, no, let's pass both at the same time. Let's do a full comprehensive budget reconciliation bill with everything we need, and then let's pass that, and let's pass the bipartisan bill. And then as we get really, really close, we will pull out the things that are in the bipartisan bill. We'll pull those out from the budget reconciliation, so we only pass it one time. Well, again, this is why there's so many issues. Nobody can agree on, number one, how to finance the whole thing. But number two, they can't agree on how to move forward to even get the bills on the floor of the House and the Senate. So again, creating more issues. But one thing I want you to understand is right now, if the bipartisan bill does not hit the floor of the House, the problem is then we will most likely not see a budget reconciliation bill. And if we don't see a budget reconciliation bill, then most likely all stimulus that everyone's talking about is gone, right? We won't see it. As of right now, and again, I just want to be 100% clear. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, and a lot of people say I'm very negative, but I try to just give you the facts. Right now, what we're hearing is the stimulus check, the fourth stimulus check that a lot of people are discussing, that I keep saying that I am a firm believer we will see a fourth stimulus check. It just won't be in the form of a stimulus check. It will most likely be a tax credit. It will most likely be something else. It will not be called a stimulus check. It could be a survival check. It could be a parent tax credit. It could be so many things. We just don't know. But this is something I firmly believe will be included into the next infrastructure bill. But we just have to wait and see. And like we found out the last time, is that lawmakers are willing to wait forever and pretty much wait just days before, and then they will throw out the idea of, hey, let's also throw in a stimulus check to the American people because, they need it. Well, we do need it. Many people need it. Millions of people need the money. And yet lawmakers are sitting around waiting and saying, oh, well, maybe we can wait. Maybe we can just pass something else. Like I talked about the other day, there was a report saying that we could potentially see something called a stimulus credit, which would essentially be a tax credit but paid out early, and this would essentially do the exact same thing as a stimulus check. Well, there are rumors on that. There are talks on increasing the earned income tax credit. There's talks on providing money to people outside of just parents and children. And so we'll see what happens there. But the good news is this morning is that right now there's a lot of discussions still going on with progressives, with Democrats, with Republicans trying to get a deal done. Now, how quickly it can get done, honestly, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But here's something else we learned this morning. This morning, we learned that the Education Department is actually recommending to President Biden to extend the student loan payment pause. And so the reason why they want to do this, okay, is it's actually somewhat interesting. But they are saying that this extension is needed because requiring payments starting in October won't create a smooth transition into going from no payments to payments, going from no interest to now accruing interest. What they are saying is that we need to see a smooth transition. They say if we can extend this payment pause into the end of January 2022, that would create a smooth transition. Now, how exactly is this going to be smooth? Well, here's what we know. It's not really about the transition because honestly, right now the Education Department could go and start to plan for a smoother transition in October. They could do that. But according to experts, they are saying that the worry right now is that the United States will see a surge in more COVID cases throughout the fall and winter months. And if this is the case, they say businesses could close down, consumers will stop spending money, and making payments for student loans could be even more difficult than it is right now. And so that is one of the reasons is that everyone is worried about this Delta COVID variant. And if it surges here in the United States, which it's already starting to spread, but is this going to surge across the United States and impact millions and millions more people? Will more and more people, potentially die due to this COVID variant? That's the worry that some have. Now, on top of that, a handful of lawmakers have been very vocal. And they are saying that extending the pause on student loan payments is not only just good for the American people that have these loans, but they say it would give President Biden more time to decide if he is willing to cancel student debt or simply live with it as it is right now. Now, the other day, the Education Department, they did cancel an additional $55.6 million in student debt. This will go to about 1,800 victims victims of a for-profit college fraud. So this is actually good as well that we're seeing more and more people are getting their loans forgiven. But at the same time, these aren't people that were really impacted 10, 15, 20 years ago that went to college. These are more recent. So we will see what happens, but this does bring the total of student loan forgiveness all the way up to $1.5 billion so far. So we still have a long ways to go, but this is a drop in the bucket, but it is somewhat moving forward. But outside of that, we will have to just wait and see when we'll get more answers on additional student loans. Now, I want to bring up Social Security for a second. Here's the reason why. A lot of people are asking, when are we going to see this $200 boost to Social Security recipients? And I stated this the other day that right now, some lawmakers are saying that, well, if we see a stimulus check, if these child tax credits work, then why do we need to provide a boost to Social Security recipients? The problem is Social Security recipients, in most cases, are not going to receive a child tax credit payment. And this payment is not for the Social Security beneficiary. It is for the children. And so lawmakers at this time are saying, well, we have these child tax credits that are coming out. They're going to help millions and millions of families. Well, then you see that these same lawmakers are saying that, No, we got these child tax credit payments. They're going to lift millions and millions of children out of poverty. The money is going to be great. It can go to, school. It can go to, any type of activities, extracurricular activities, signing children up for more education, buying school products or supplies that they need, right? All these things. But then how do you, and let me ask you this. I'm just curious. How do you spend money? Let's say you're gonna go and buy a computer for your child. Awesome. Children need a computer. They need to learn, right? They need this. Not to, browse the internet and look for things to buy on eBay and Amazon and look up TikTok videos or whatever. Or maybe watch a YouTube video on a stimulus, but, just joking. But how do parents buy a computer with this money and yet still have the same amount of money to go and buy school supplies and lift their children out of poverty and pay for food and all these other things and still have money for themselves as, let's say, a Social Security beneficiary, right? It's not possible. Money doesn't stretch. You can't stretch money that far. And so, yes, these monthly payments are needed, but the question I have is, why are lawmakers saying that we have all this money coming out for children for this child tax credit, and yet they're saying we can use that money for other things and pay our rent and put food on the table and all this stuff? And obviously it's needed, but at the same time, why are they doing this? It just doesn't make sense to me why somebody that's supposed to be highly educated is saying, oh, well, we have all this money. Well, all this money is not going to last. Food is getting very expensive. Housing is actually going up. Trying to buy a computer, a decent computer, is going to cost more than $250 or $300. So that's just my question, and maybe you can answer that down in the comment section below. Now, getting back on Social Security. I touched on this the other day, and the reason why I touched on this is because so many lawmakers are pushing for more. They want to see more relief. They want to see more assistance. They want to see that the elderly are actually being taken care of. The disabled are being taken care of. Our veterans are being taken care of. The problem is nobody's really pushing for more. And the reports are indicating that the reason why nobody's really pushing for more and really trying to get the support behind their different ideas is because so many people are looking at stimulus checks. They're looking at student loan forgiveness. They're looking at the child tax credits. And they're trying to figure out, well, which one is more important? Should we provide a stimulus check, again, which is still not even in the infrastructure bill at this time? Okay? So even though I keep saying I think it's going to be there, it's not there yet. All right? The other thing is are the child tax credits, will they be extended? If they are extended, there is a possibility that we do not see a boost to Social Security benefits. If they are extended, there is a high possibility we do not see a stimulus check to the American people. That would be the fourth stimulus check. We won't see it. So some are questioning, what are we going to see? Well, and the other thing that I brought up, and this is something that Nancy Pelosi even kind of confirmed as well, is that Nancy Pelosi said the reason, or what they're trying to do right now, is there's a bill called H.R. 3 that the House passed last year. It went over to the Senate and pretty much died on Mitch McConnell's desk. But Nancy Pelosi stated, and I don't know all the details of this bill, but she stated that the reason why they passed this bill is so that they can go and negotiate the prescription drug prices, bring them down, and if we can actually save money. Okay, and this is for Medicare, but I want to tie this into Social Security in just a second. But if we can save money on the prescription drug prices, right, that would actually give us savings. Okay, that would give us a little bit of savings. We can take that money and push it over towards hearing, vision, and dental, which would help out people on Medicare, which would, but many people on Social Security also get Medicare. So if you do get Medicare, right, if you do get this health insurance, you can actually save money because things aren't costing you as much. You got now vision, dental, and hearing, which is great, right? Maybe the eligibility age drops from 65 down to 60, which would help out millions more people as well. But how does this actually impact people on Social Security? Well, it impacts people on Social Security because now they're not spending all their money on hearing, vision, dental. They're not spending all their money on high price prescription medications, right? The money that they're paying is actually coming down. And being that their income is not going up, again, that's an issue right now, is people on Social Security, your income is not going up. It's staying the same. It has not moved. You got that little 1.3 cost of living adjustment last year, or at the beginning of 2021. Well, that's like an average of $20 extra per month. So it's not a lot of money. But if you have more money to spend, you will be able to help out the economy a little bit more. You'll be able to provide for yourself. You would not have to rely on the government for other assistance. And this is what many lawmakers are saying, is if we can get rid of all the other assistance programs, nutrition assistance, rental assistance, right, housing, right, if we can get rid of all those other assistance programs, we can actually take that money that we would save and we can give it to the American people directly, and they can spend it as they wish. Now, whether this is a good idea or not, you can let me know down in the comment section below, but that is part of the discussions, is let's get rid of all these programs and let's just give every single American a set amount of money. This is actually considered universal basic income. This is something that many have been pushing. This is also something that a lot of lawmakers say is needed to provide more equality. We wouldn't see such a huge gap between the lower and middle class and the middle and upper classes. Again, the middle class is actually starting to shrink. The lower class is really expanding, the upper class is expanding as well, and the middle class is really shrinking. So we will see what happens as we move forward, but right now a lot of people question the decisions the current administration is making, and also some are questioning the decisions the past administration made as well. What we do know, and here's a big thing I want to bring up today, is that we are seeing issues with wages. Last year, under the former administration, we didn't see an increase to the federal minimum wage. We haven't seen an increase to the federal minimum wage in quite some time. But what we are hearing is that many lawmakers, including Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, they want to see an increase to the federal minimum wage. They also, on top of this, and this is the big thing, they don't just want to see the federal minimum wage increase. They want to see it increase, but at the same time, they want to see that women are paid just as much as men in similar jobs. In addition to that, they would love to see that the federal minimum wage is indexed to inflation. Whether or not that ever happens, chances are it's probably not, but we will see in the future. But here's something that many have gotten behind, is keeping the wages the same for both men and women in similar jobs. There shouldn't be a wage gap. There shouldn't be a wage gap based off of our gender. It just shouldn't be there, especially in 2021. Well, I want to explain something that it should probably make you question how likely it is that we are going to see a federal minimum wage increase and have it where men and women are paid pretty much the same thing. Here's something that we saw the other day. The other day, a nonpartisan company called Legistorm, they provide salary data for 2021 congressional employees. Now, these are not our senators and our Senate Majority Leader and Speaker and our representatives. They're actually doing this, the salary data for staffers and aides and people like that. But what they found in this data was that women are actually paid on average $2,200 less per year than men working the exact same job. So let that sink in. Women are getting paid less. I think women are getting paid about $57,000. Men are getting paid a little over $59,000. It's not a huge gap, but when you look at this, okay, whatever, I don't even know what $2,200 per year would be if we break it down per week, but 2,200 divided by 52 weeks, you're getting paid about $42 extra per week. Now, it's not a lot of money. It is honestly not a lot of money, but it's the exact same thing that some of these lawmakers are fighting for, is we need to see men and women paid the exact same. But yet the problem is even our lawmakers, even their staffers and aides are not getting paid the exact same amount because of their gender. Now, this company didn't dig into any of this any deeper, but it's very interesting to note that right now, this isn't just something that's happening across the United States. This is happening in Washington. This is happening to our lawmakers. Our lawmakers, their staff is getting paid. They're not getting paid the exact same. So I wanted to bring this information to you because some experts are questioning how likely it would be for lawmakers to actually change the federal minimum wage and require female employees be paid the exact same as male employees, when lawmakers themselves aren't even paying their staffers the same. And so that's just creating another issue. So that's all we got for today, but I just wanted to kind of give you these updates. I think these are extremely important. These are going to impact us as we move forward and as we get a little bit more information, a little more updates regarding the infrastructure package, stimulus, the economy, COVID, and everything in between. I promise I'll come back on and fill you in on those updates as well. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Wish that you have a wonderful weekend and a happy Saturday. Have any questions, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Consider subscribing so that I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on, and I'll see you guys on the next one.